What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another Tottenham update with Brian Daigle. How we doing, Brian?
Nothing better starts the weekend than a transatlantic update. It's good to spend time with you, brother. I hope everyone is good and well your end.
Yeah, everyone is well. 7 years in Toronto today.
Tomorrow,
Congratulations, my friend. Or
tomorrow,
tomorrow.
tomorrow, and Spurs play Fulham. What could possibly go wrong?
You got to get that lucky shirt on tomorrow.
Well, KPV did say that, didn't he? So maybe I will in honour.
We've got a couple of updates to go through today, a couple regarding transfers. First one we're going to talk about is a report from the Times talking about a new keeper potentially in January or potentially in the summer. They say that Tottenham are likely to look at homegrown keepers in their bid to add reinforcements in that department. Spurs also want a targeted goalkeeper who are comfortable with the ball at their feet and comfortable playing under pressure. This kind of feels like only one goalkeeper they're looking at to me, and that is the Burnley goalkeeper, James Trafford. Don't know what it says to you.
Yeah, first of all, the most important thing I think we need to discuss is the fact that they want someone that can play with the ball at their feet and under pressure, because recently our goalkeepers have not been very good at that. I mean, when we bought Hugo at the time, it was a sweeper keeper, wasn't it? And he excelled in that. It was the change in the evolution of goalkeeping. It's definitely the attributes we need, isn't it? Homegrown, yeah. When you say they want homegrown, you're narrowing that funnel is getting narrower and narrower, and the big rumours have been James Trafford, and it can only be pointed to him really that I can see.
Yeah, what do you feel about, like, if you're trying to get into James Trafford's head? Because obviously he's a young goalkeeper, starting week in, week out for Burnley, who are going well in the Championship. Would you want to sign for Spurs as a young goalkeeper, and maybe, when Vicario's back fit, you're going to be on the bench? Where do you think his head's at?
Yeah, this is the problem. I mean, whenever you look at it, I love, and everyone's going to say the same. The Liverpool goalie Keller, I think he's outstanding. But Liverpool have done really, really well. Obviously, got him from an obscure, unknown Irish team, done the right scouting, and he's flourished, hasn't he? It's finding a goalkeeper of that caliber. I would rather we signed a goalkeeper that would come and really rival Vicario and say, right, your shirt isn't guaranteed. I'm here, I'm going to take it. But that kind of caliber, you look at it, what kind of goalkeeper is going to come to Spurs of that caliber and say, yeah, I'm here, I can take second string. So we've got to be smart about this. We've already got, this is the thing, we've already got so many young goalkeepers, haven't we? So many. And the
Yeah,
two that I love is Keeley and Gunter, who I think are the
yeah.
two that will flourish. And I think that's widely agreed with. But we need someone in the interim, don't we? Before they get to that level. And it's, do you go very young with the way you're saying with Trafford, or do you find someone a bit older that might be a bit more established, willing to play Europa League and Cup games? But it is looking at the most important thing again is we do need homegrown players. We were talking about it all last season, weren't we? So I think that's a vital aspect of it as well.
Yeah, there is a certain someone that's out in America right now that's finished the season. Would you take him as a little backup while Vicario's on the mend?
I've got rid of 2 years of heart attacks and stress and worry. I'm 2 years older. I do not want them coming back. Listen, Hugo, if Hugo comes back again, it's just for me. The sentimentality. He's easy to get back, and he's not the keeper he was. That's why we didn't extend his contract. He's been a great servant for us. Move on.
Apparently, he's doing quite well over the MLS.
Yeah, the MLS is a little bit of a drop in standard to the English Premier League. So yeah, I wouldn't want to see Hugo back. I wish him all the success over on this side of the pond, but stay on this side of the pond.
Let's talk about another one. This was coming out of Sky Sports Germany. Spurs are among the clubs interested in PSV playmaker Malik Tilman. Several clubs have already made concrete inquiries regarding the January window. He has a 30 to 40 million euro release clause active for the summer, and Premier League is a big goal for Tilman. If you don't know much about him, he's actually a very exciting player. Speed, dribbling ability, ball playing ability. Last season, got 9 goals and 15 assists in all competitions, 9 goals and 11 assists in the Eredivisie, and he's obviously started this season very well as well. He is a player that can play across the front three, not striker, but attacking midfielder, left wing, right wing, but predominantly he does play on the left wing or central attacking midfielder. Do you think that's a position we need? Obviously, Sonny is aging, but we've just got Mikey Moore coming through. We've got Min-hyuk coming in. We've got Odebear as well now, whose favoured position is out on the left. Should we not be looking at more of a predominant right-sided player?
In the attacking side, yes. In the defensive side, I want a left back. I think that's number one for us. But getting back to how old is this player?
22.
So it's another young one, hoping. But obviously, as you said,
Bit older demographic than what we've been going for.
Yeah, but he's showing some the attributes you were saying again. Sound. I think what the kind of creative player I think I want most. You've got the runner and the person that can take players on in Kulu. I think Spurs need that player that can play the ball through the eye of a needle, that can literally.
He can.
So that's. I mean, obviously, Ange will get what Ange wants or what Ange thinks he needs. Hopefully be back. But that's the creativity. I mean, Maddison on his day, we all know what he can do. But is there another competition really for Maddison's place as that number 10, that creative pass the ball through the eye of a needle? It's always good to have more pace and versatility. So it seems like he's doing very well, as you were saying. But I think I agree, right-sided in this area of the pitch is more needed than left. We're kind of stocked, aren't we?
You are looking at it though, like when you're actually looking, because we got to start thinking about Sonny's successor, right? Whether it be to come in this summer or next summer. I think it's a bit too much to put on an 18 or 19-year-old shoulders to be Sonny's successor. So maybe when you're looking at this guy, who's obviously very creative, gets goal contributions as a regularity. He is a player as well that came through the Bayern Munich ranks, so he's trained at a very big club. Is it not worth maybe on the left-hand side going for someone a bit older, where in the summer he'll probably be around 23 years of age?
Yeah, I mean, as you said as well, the great thing about this is the versatility. And right now, if you look at it, with our injury problems that we've had, especially in that area of the pitch, this guy just seems like you could just drop him anywhere and he could solve that issue. So there is that. We do need versatility. Listen, we all want players that can play in specialist areas, like you're a right winger, you're a right, but also you do need the versatility. And right now, you look at a player like that that can offer what he does, you'd have him at Spurs right now, wouldn't you, to solve the injury problems that we're having and to keep Kulu central. So maybe this is an avenue to go down. Like I said, I can't really go in because I don't know him as in depth as you do, but it sounds like he could be just a ticket.
And 30 to 40 million release clause for the summer. It's not the biggest of outlays, is it? I think it's a figure that's probably right up our street.
It's the sweet spot, isn't it? It is the bang on sweet spot around that area. Will Spurs go in straight away if we do better? I highly doubt it. But the good thing, or the thing I'm hoping for as well with these targets coming out now is, as you know, Ben, last January I said I'm only judging it on speed of bringing player in, and I kind of feel that way again. We've got to get these players in early, out all window. So looks like Spurs might be getting their house in order.
Let's hope so, mate. But let us know your thoughts on Malik Tilman in the comments section below. Would you like to see him at Spurs? Does he have the required ability that we do need? Another player, this time from the Bundesliga, Jamie Gittens, 20 years of age. Patrick Berger, Sky reporter, not the Liverpool Patrick Berger, but Sky reporter Patrick Berger says, Tottenham are one of the clubs interested in Dortmund winger Jamie Gittens. The winger feels comfortable in Dortmund right now, and he wants to stay for at least another year. However, Gittens is believed to have his sights set on the Premier League as his long-term future. I mean, this guy is a really a player who's exploding this season. He's been at Dortmund for the past 4 years, but he got, he was in and out of the team last year, and he was played right wing, he played left wing. This year, he's really made that left wing spot his own in this Dortmund side. Pacey winger, dribbly winger, and again, another player who plays predominantly on the left-hand side, but also can play on the right if need be. I think he's a player that, has got a big, big future in this game, and I think he's going to go places. I'd love to see Spurs bringing him in. At 20 years of age, he's saying he doesn't want to leave Dortmund for at least another year, so 21 until he's available. Might come a bit too late for us.
The way I look at these deals as well, but first of all, is if you want to stay in Dortmund another year, I've always wanted, why don't Spurs just go and buy him and say stay in Dortmund for another year? Get the deal done, So you've got one of the a hot prospect wrapped up, sewn up. He can have his development at Germany for one more year,
He's English as well, by the way.
which is another. So this kid I do know a bit about. He does look a very big talent. He does look a very, very big talent. And the one thing I will say, when you hear about a youngster doing well at Borussia Dortmund, you have to keep an eye on it, because Borussia Dortmund have a habit, a very, very good habit of nurturing young talent, bringing them through, and them going on for incredible success over the years. They are a wonderfully run football club who really do bring you through. So when a player is doing what he's doing out there, you have to stand up and take notice. And I just wish, if he wants another year there, but Spurs desperately want him, then you do, like I said, try and get a deal done and say, right, just stay out. I mean, it does happen, doesn't it, where people say, right, stay there for a year or 6, like we did with Delhi, stay in Milton Keynes for 6 months or whatever it may be. But once that's done,
With Destiny,
right,
we did it with Destiny, didn't we?
exactly. So you would hope, but then again, it's a great prospect. But again, we just said about wingers. It looks like we're very, very from the rumours and reports that we're very focused on building up the front line, when obviously there are other holes to fill. But these are 2 young prospects, especially Gittens, that would be very, very interesting and welcomed at Spurs.
Absolutely. Let's talk about Sergio Reguilon now. This is an interesting one. Ex-Spurs scout Brian King thinks Reguilon wants to terminate his contract at Spurs during this January transfer window, and claims that he'll be offered a third of his remaining wages in North London to cancel that contract. It will be the club who sets the termination terms, is what he's saying, without any room for negotiation. He is the one that wants the contract terminated. Therefore, if he wants to get his way as bad as he say he does, Tottenham's offer will be accepted, and it will be a goodbye. He won't get his full salary, that's for sure. He'll get a third of it. As soon as he leaves at the beginning of January, he is free to go and join any other club. He'll be told what he is going to get, and that's what he's going to have to accept. And there is no room for negotiation there. And he's on 120 grand a week, which is, from now to the end of his contract, would be 3 million. So therefore, if he does accept the deal that Tottenham apparently have on the table for him, he'll pocket £1 million, and then he'll be on his way. I mean, surely, if you're Reguilon, you accept that. But if you're in Tottenham and Daniel Levy's shoes, you probably want to try and get a transfer fee out of it.
Such a hard life, isn't it? Such a hard life. Just take the million over the. Is it? Do you know what? I think it's where it says it's only him that wants to terminate. Listen, he has had no future at Spurs for a long time. Loaned out, brought him back. He's been brought into the Europa League squad, and not got a minute, not got a single second. I don't think he's even been on the bench. He has no future at this.
The best he got is travelling to a European away game to be used as a training camp.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. With the Federvessos, with the youngsters. I think it's. I respect what the ex scout is saying, but this is obviously a dual thing. This is, we don't want him. The managers haven't wanted him. Obviously, we don't want him on the payroll. We can slash that a bit more, and hopefully, I can't remember say use this to bring in players. Yeah, okay, sure. But listen, it's. When he came, he looked really exciting, but for whatever reason, since he got caught with Lo Celso and Lamela on that Christmas, it's gone wonky for him at Spurs. He had a big illness as well, didn't he, or injury? But it just hasn't worked for him in North London, and it is time to cut our cloth accordingly. But it's an area where we desperately need to bolster up. This is the number one target for me in January. The left back, it has to be for me. But Sergio needs another club, and Spurs need to get rid of it. It's another one that hasn't worked out. Just cut him loose, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's always been like the wages that he's on and the transfer fee that Spurs were commanding that has maybe halted that, because, you know, you look at last year, he had pretty good loan spell at Brentford. It shows that he can do it in the Premier League. He was okay at Manchester United as well, filling in as and when they needed. So there's definitely a future at some club for him, because he's not a bad player, is he?
No, so I mean, he had his best time under Mourinho, and obviously famously won that £500 ham for him for not letting Mahrez go past him in that Man City win. He was a very good defender at the beginning. He really was. I mean, I remember him setting up the cross for Gareth Bale to get his first goal. He looked like a real prospect, but he just fell off a cliff. I mean, doesn't help when we've had so many managers in the brief period that he's been here that have asked him to play different positions and different styles, which can't help. But the one thing I remember more than anything from Sergio Reguilon's time at Tottenham Hotspur is that incredible own goal against Aston Villa, where he volleyed it backwards into the top corner. I mean, Harry Kane would have been proud of that. So when you say my best memory of you is scoring a stunning own goal, that kind of says it, doesn't it?
Yeah. I hope something does happen in January, because it's no good just having someone that's just not even ever going to make a squad. The manager doesn't believe in, he doesn't want to be there, just sticking around like a bad smell. I mean, it's not good for anyone, is it?
No, it's not even good. Can you imagine how he must feel in the training ground? I don't know if he's training with the first team or where he's training, but
Looks like he is.
Work. So you're going to work not knowing you're not going to play. I mean, it's all right for financial gains and everything, but you go in knowing that I'm not going to be a part of any plan. I'm just here to make up the numbers, and you're just going in. Footballers have a very, very short career, don't they, in the grand scheme of things? And obviously, they all want to. Financially, they're richly rewarded, but their main aim is to play and win as many things as they can. And Sergio Reguilon has not played. It was Brentford last season, wasn't it? Yeah. He hasn't played a minute of football this season, and we've had injury problems in defence.
It's all right for some, mate. Picking up 120 grand a week for doing absolutely nothing.
It's a hard life, isn't it?
Madness. Anyway, let's go on to the last one, and it's a bit of a congratulations to Spurs' new signing, Min-hyuk, who has picked up the K-League Young Player of the Year award for the season that has just finished, and he'll be at Spurs in about 2 weeks' time, just building up his fitness up until the January the 1st. He'll be eligible to play. So where do you see him fitting in this season? Do you see him getting much game time? Maybe it's a case of, if we get a really good draw in the FA Cup to a lower league team, we see what he's about in that game. I mean, where do you see him fitting in?
Yeah, I'm going to go exactly where you did, Ben. First of all, it's great to hear that he's won Young Player of the Year in his domestic league. It's a fantastic thing to bring to the club. Obviously, he's now a huge step up in fitness, in mentality, in skill, in every. So it's going to take him a while.
Physicality really is the main thing.
Didn't even think of that one. That's a huge one, isn't it? I think the FA Cup is going to be an avenue we could use, especially the early stages. What I do like about him coming early is obviously Heung-min Son's here. He'll be able to help him adapt to England. When Heung-min Son came here, he was all by himself. Obviously, didn't know the language, didn't know anything. Well, now he's got someone, and not just someone, the icon of South Korea, the legend of South Korea, to help him, which is going to be hugely beneficial, isn't it? We heard Sonny wanted to leave after the first year because he couldn't settle. Well, Sonny will be able to get him to settle and welcome him to the club and nurture him, and yeah, probably the FA Cup. But it's exciting to see him come, and now we see what he can do if he does get some minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it as well. Mikey Moore, hopefully he'll be back by that time, but there's no guarantees. Let's say, for argument's sake, he's not. One injury to Timo Werner or Sonny, and he's next in the pecking order. It's mad to think about.
Yeah, and when you think about it with Odebear, you don't know how long Odebear's out for, so there could be but yeah, it could be that. I mean, you never know. He could come on and just wow us. Could, very small percentage, but he could. You never know. But it'll be exciting to see him come. We'll see what we'll have to go. But you're right. This is where we are right now. If Sonny, you don't even say Sonny needs to get injured. Right now, Sonny's being rested to monitor it or preserve his minutes, really, isn't it, in his game time? So you never know. You never know. Maybe in the Europa League, even if we get not that there'll be an easy tie, but if it's a home game and we're 3 or 4-0 up on aggregate and there's like 20 minutes left, maybe he brings him on then. Who knows?
All right, we'll have to see how everything plays out. But Brian, thank you so much for joining me today. Always great to share the screen with you, my brother. And have a good rest of your weekend, people. We'll see you all very soon. Tomorrow is match day. I'm in the studio with Amir, very much looking forward to it. And you'll see this guy on the fan show tomorrow as well. So tune in.
That might be with Michael McIntyre.
Might be with Michael McIntyre as well. But yeah, like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you
Thanks,
Spurs.
Spurs.